Hi, it's Iris, and welcome to Parapopulous. For today's episode, Crystallize Your Memories. So, it's an interesting one, and it makes me wonder sometimes where the science fiction writers get their stuff from. This was originally published on Discovery on October 1st of 2015. And the gist of it is that they have built the world's smallest hard drive of atoms. It's crystal that's made of fused quartz that comes from an almost pure silica. And a high-speed laser light, is used to etch the information into the surface of the crystal. And that crystal can stand temperatures of up to 1832 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, under sort of normal everyday things, this crystal would be stable and not look at corrupting data for like at least a million years. And they're saying this would hold like 360 terabytes of data, which would take about a million conventional CDs. They're sort of using the comparison of Superman and, the crystals that his parents used to store all the knowledge. And, honestly, it's really cool. Who didn't think it was cool in Superman? First of all, if you never saw that, seriously, if you've never seen a Superman and the crystal, that's pretty friggin' cool. If you're looking at like storing just oodles and mega bunches of data, how amazing does this make your life? Like archiving for a library or a museum, or just anything like that needs that kind of massive data. My gaming collection, but that's a whole other thing. Honestly, it's really cool. Okay. Here's, though, where I have the problem with it. We've had people suggest that crystal skulls might be doing this. This might be archives from the past or somewhere from Atlantis. There's this, treasure trove of stuff hidden in a crystal somewhere, and, or the crystal skulls have the information. When you bring them together, it makes, all this stuff. Listen, people are making fun of them for this, but you're telling me because science has now done this, it's okay, it's cool, it's wonderful. Oh my God, the technology. Really? Like, the fringe, I guess is that what we're calling it? The fringe has been saying this for a while now. Like, maybe Atlantis, maybe they did just store everything on crystals, and because the civilization got destroyed, and let's face it, even after a couple thousand years, the skyscrapers aren't going to exist. There's going to be a lot of shit that's just going to be gone. Maybe they were smart enough to take paper over plastic. I don't know. So that explains the lack of plastic. Maybe they stuck with metal and natural substances. I'm so confused why people who are saying this were labeled as crackpots, but now science is doing it, and it's okay, I guess proof over theory, proof over the suggestion of it. I get it, a theory is a theory until you can prove it actually works, then it is kind of out on the outside edge. But, why did it have to get to this? Why couldn't we have just kind of looked at people and said, that's intriguing. If you think about it, a crystal is vibrational, a crystal will hold data. Until we can prove it, though, we're going to have to leave it out on the step as a theory. And, okay, wait, I know there's a difference between theory and... There's like a couple different phrases, and I'm sure I'm not using this one right, but yeah, I don't understand why people have been ridiculed for this, for suggesting it. And I keep harping on the Atlantis thing, but that's where it really did start from. That and like the Yucatan with the crystal skulls and all that stuff. So, it's a different idea. I think it's a shame we couldn't have taken this and embraced that idea from the start. We have to, and I've said this before about different tech ideas. We have to start looking at people's quote-unquote radical ideas as possibilities. We have to be willing to entertain the possibilities that something is an okay idea. I mean, it's not saying we're all going to run out and start etching shit on crystal. But, I mean, if we had kind of looked at this theory where people were saying, and I guess somebody did, because, I mean, they're writing on crystal in a lab somewhere, so somebody was paying attention. Either the Superman or the crackpots or the Atlantis theory. And I'm saying crackpots because that's what everybody called them. I didn't think they were crackpots. I appreciate the unusual. I appreciate a different idea. I appreciate that it might not be something I believe or embrace or understand. But, I mean, how else do you grow? I mean, if you're content with being a caterpillar your whole life, you're never going to build that cocoon and come out a butterfly. So, and I mean, if this had, I mean, and here's the thing. We can say, well, it wasn't workable. Okay, it wasn't workable with that technology. But as our technology improves, doesn't it bear revisiting ideas maybe from before that we kind of looked at and said, well, yeah, there's no way. How could you etch that on there? How could you get the information? We don't. I mean, I'm just saying, if they worked with natural materials and they figured it out, I guess, well, they did grow the crystal, but it's grown crystal is still a crystal. So it's a natural material. Who's to say that like a couple thousand years ago, 100,000 years ago? I don't know. We don't know. I mean, asteroids come and wipe out civilizations. Look at what we're doing to each other now. It's not going to take an asteroid to wipe out this civilization. It's going to take some asshole deciding a dirty bomb is a good idea. And what have we got left to show? There might be a few stragglers who go, I remember that computer, but because you didn't build computers or the stuff isn't around to do, how are you going to do that again? How are you going to rebuild it? How are you going to prove that you knew how to do a computer? How are you going to prove that? You can't. So, I mean, saying that Atlantis didn't exist and crystal information and the skulls or from there didn't exist, I mean, y'all, come on. Like, I don't know how to build a spinning wheel or spin yarn, but I know people did it. So does that make that a thing? That, okay, because I can't do it, it didn't exist? Not necessarily. And I mean, okay, there is historic proof that there is a spinning wheel and there are paintings of pictures, peoples, and all that stuff. But, I mean, how is this technology any different? I get so stuck on this. I get so frustrated because we're so stuck on it's my way or it's no way. And it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, the amount of ridicule that people who've suggested, hey, what if they use crystals then? It's stable. They don't, it takes a lot of heat to make them, so it would take a lot of heat to destroy them. I mean, some of these people had really good theories. And they were just like laughed off the face of the planet, essentially. And it's just like, because we don't understand it or because it's not in our realm of possibility, it can't be right. Oh, but hey, the scientists have done something and it looks like Superman's crystals now. So it's got to be good, right? Listen, regardless of what you want to believe, I'm still going to take that 360 terabytes and use that for my game collection, guys, because I need it. So y'all can stay out there and fight about what you want to believe, and maybe the technology existed before or it didn't. But you know what? I need to put my DVD collection somewhere and my video game collection somewhere. So y'all, I mean, we're not even going to talk about the music. I'm going to need about 2 of those for that. Y'all are going to have to get your shit together. Start working with each other. Start open up your minds. And I know there's a lot of people who still don't even believe this happened. How is that possible? Oh, it's not right. Listen, I've got more data, more processing power in my phone than Voyager had to go out into space. There is more data in most people's phone and watches and processing power in a friggin' little digital watch than there was in anything that ever was in the Commodore 6. Commodore 64 was a frickin' hello, and we used a cassette tape. We're using digital storage, and we were using CDs. I mean, evolution, guys, it happens. We don't have to understand it. We don't have to understand that maybe we revert. Maybe there's accidents. Maybe there's deliberates. Maybe there's stuff that happens. And maybe that's also why the aliens never come to visit us, because goddamn, we're the most ignorant neighbors out there on the planet, universe, I think, planet. Well, yeah, it is a pretty fucked up planet. But anyways, I harp on this every episode, don't I? I know, but I just get so frustrated with us. There's so much potential and so much imagination. And I'm not saying you have to believe everything you hear. I'm not saying every theory is the right theory. It's definitely not. Some people are just out to make money. Some people are just cracked out of their mind. But I'm saying you have to be willing to open your mind to possibilities. And maybe not embrace them, but at least be willing to, offer them a cup of coffee and entertain them for 15 minutes. Because, I mean, how else are we going to do better, be better, grow better? And guys, I'm serious. Get on those crystals for me. I need a reader-writer thing, because it's the collection. It's big, all right? On that note, I'm going to leave you guys. And boo. We will be back in a few.